All right, let's talk about Louisiana. It's a place that, on paper, should be an absolute powerhouse, but it's not. Today, we're going to dive into this very paradox, why a state with so many natural advantages is, well, collapsing.
I mean, just look at a map. Louisiana controls the mouth of the Mississippi River. That's the main economic highway for almost all of North America. It should be the New York of the South, a total economic giant. But it's not. The reality is the complete opposite. So what happened? How does arguably the most valuable piece of real estate on the continent end up falling so far behind?
So you've got this wild contrast, right? On one hand, you have this incredible geographic gift. It's literally a funnel for the entire continent. But on the other side of the ledger, the reality is pretty grim. We're talking about sinking land, an economy that's just not growing, people leaving the state, and rankings that put it near the very bottom for things like opportunity and infrastructure. And that gap, that's the core of what we're looking at today.
Okay, so to really get this, we have to start at the very beginning. And I mean that literally. We have to start with the ground itself. The first piece of this puzzle is all about the geology of southern Louisiana. And it all comes down to the Mississippi River, which, as you'll see, has been both its greatest creator and its greatest curse.
You see, southern Louisiana isn't built on solid rock. It's basically one gigantic river delta. For about, 7,000 years, the Mississippi has been carrying all this stuff, mud, sand, clay, all the way from the middle of the continent down to the Gulf of Mexico. When the river finally hits the Gulf, it slows down, and all that sediment just drops. It settles, layer after layer, and that's what created the land itself.
So the best way to picture this is to forget about solid ground. Think of it like a huge, wet sponge. Seriously, there's no bedrock underneath, it's just thousands of feet of muck. If you've ever been to New Orleans and see a construction site, you'll notice it fills with water almost instantly. And you can imagine trying to build a modern, heavy state on top of a wet sponge. Well, that's a huge problem from day one.
Now, for thousands of years, nature had this all figured out. It had a perfect system. The river would carry the sediment down, deposit it to build new land, and then, crucially, the annual floods would come and spread a fresh layer of mud over everything. This was the magic ingredient that kept the land from sinking. It was this beautiful, elegant, self-repairing cycle. And then we came along and broke it.
So how did we break it? Well, we decided we had to tame the wild river. We tried to control a force of nature that, frankly, has a mind of its own.
You know, it's easy to look at a river on a map and think of it as just a blue line, like a pipeline. But that's not what they are at all. Rivers are living, writhing, serpentine things. And the Mississippi is the king of them. It is always moving, always shifting. And that constant desire to change is really the central conflict at the heart of Louisiana's story.
And this is where we get to the ticking time bomb. See, as a river like the Mississippi